Hey guys, it's Eric. I'm back. I'm here today to talk about the rut and whether the rut's the same time every year or does that moon decide when the rut happens. But before we get into that, if you haven't already, please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel. And for those who have already done so, we thank you very much and appreciate the support. Okay, so there's two theories on the rut. One theory basically that the rut happens the same time every year. Another theory that the second full moon after the autumn equinox really triggers the rut and gets doe into estrus. So when you talk about the moon theory, Charlie Alsheimer, who's passed away a few years ago, went around giving seminars on that, selling books, rut predictions every year, talking about the different timings of the rut. And a lot of people bought into that theory. However, science does not. And the problem with that is I'm sure about many other state agencies have done their research, but here in Pennsylvania, our game commission has done some research on that, and it's proven that the conception date of roadkill fawns is the same every year. No variation between the moon, second full moon, anything. Now, whether from a morality standpoint, whether Charlie Alsheimer knew that or if he truly believed what he was teaching, I cannot answer that question, but that's not for me to decide. But the rut happens the same time every year. That being said, the moon can impact how much daytime activity you see during the rut. If you get a full moon, you might see a little spurt of midday activity and some very twilight before, right at dark, right at daylight movement. But new moon, you'll see more daylight movement. Now, and that's assuming the weather's the same in those scenarios. Now, that being said, the weather trumps both, in my opinion, both ends of the moon phase. Now, my biggest buck on public land, 2021, came on a new moon and a cold front. I only had this buck on camera at night all season. During the rut, early rut, he came out of his bedding area about 20-30 minutes before daylight. I think both due to that new moon and due to that being the coldest day of the year so far. Now, with a new moon, with cold weather, you can get some good movement in the first few hours of daylight and get some bucks, like I said with my 2021 buck, some bucks moving out of their bedding area earlier than they normally would have. With a full moon and some cold weather, you can get that midday action, that 9 to 3 action people talk about. Bucks cruising midday, chasing, get on a hot doe midday, and that's great. That weather is really what you want to follow if you can kind of play your days for the rut. Now, don't get me wrong, anything can happen. People have killed bucks at high noon, 75-degree weather, but statistically speaking, that cold weather is going to help you a lot more. Here in north central Pennsylvania, our pre-rut happens about the last 5 to 7 days of October into the first, I'd say, 2 to 4 days of November. And then once you get to the 5th, 6th, 7th, into about the 10th or 11th, you get about lockdown period where most bucks are locked down with the doe for a couple days. But in between that, you have bucks coming in and off the does, and they're going to be looking for more. Now, once you get into that 12th, 13th of November, time from into about the 16th, 17th, you get a good little last pop in the rut, early post-rut, whatever you want to call it, where you'll get some bucks cruising, and you'll get bucks on camera that you hadn't seen all year. After that, it's about done here. Other than, like a late estrus doe or a doe that didn't get bred towards the end of November, something like that. But generally speaking, the rut happens the same time every year. Look for those dates, whether you like to hunt the pre-rut, peak rut, or post-rut, and then see if you can get some good weather fronts to help you with the deer movement. But the second full moon after the autumn equinox, it doesn't matter. That's not what triggers the rut. Shortening daylight does, and that is the same time every year. So there you go. Rut's the same time every year. That's my opinion from what I've seen from studies and hunting experience. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think of Charlie Alsheimer's theory. And love to hear from you. So look for you in the comments. And thanks for watching the video.